My name is Eric, and for my 2010 project, I designed a real-time health tracking system that I specifically geared towards diabetic patients. And my main inspiration came from a diabetic friend who I had, and she really she didn't let her condition get to her much, but I wanted to find a way to help her manage it in a more efficient way. And also because according to CDC, which is Central for Disease Control and Prevention, 29.1 million people are affected by diabetes. So yeah, so as a result, I designed a real-time health monitor specifically geared towards diabetic patients to help them conveniently monitor their conditions. And by doing this, I designed an app and kind of like a monitor that would monitor insulin and glucose levels. So yeah, through this project, I ran into a lot of different problems. The first one's because I wanted to design an app, but I had absolutely no coding experience. I had to find an alternate type of method since initially I wanted to learn how to code, but it took a lot more time than I could probably fit into this. So I did my designing solely in Illustrator, and then I put it into a prototype maker, which basically allowed me to make buttons out of just drawing them. And yeah, also this project taught me a lot more about Illustrator than I had known, because I already knew how to use Illustrator prior to this, but it taught me a lot of tricks to help speed up my design and make it efficient while still maintaining the same type of quality. And I also learned how to time manage my project, because I knew graphic design took time, but app design was a huge another level, and I probably should have done it a little bit earlier. So yeah. So this is my final product. That's the launch screen, and it just says real-time health tracking system with a little heart connected to a phone. And then, so the first page that I have is the dashboard page, which basically is what I think is the most important information for diabetic patients. It includes blood glucose levels and any upcoming appointments. And anything that is urgent is in red, and anything that is still good is in green. So the next page that I have is the information. So the quality is kind of bad, but this is basically a graph of the time of day and the amount of blood glucose in someone's body. And I think this was monthly and yearly trends. And I also put an information page so that people are aware of the tracker's battery status and insulin available. And the next page that I have is the calendar, which it's kind of similar to an iPhone calendar, but I wanted diabetic patients to have a specific place for their needs. And the last page that I have is a contact page for anyone who is important, and so they don't have to scroll through their phone books to find it. So this is the second part of my project, which was a glucometer, or a blood glucose monitor. And I actually found one that already exists. It's called the OmniPod, and I actually found this off an Atlantic article that I read. And essentially the way it works is it just attaches to the user's body, and it will monitor the amount of blood glucose and then inject insulin when it's necessary. And it needs to be refilled every so often, so that's why I put the little status thing in the app. And right now, the OmniPod isn't actually connected to a smartphone. It's more connected to a separate type of computer device, which I don't think is as efficient, because most people already carry a smartphone around with them every day, and having to carry two devices around just seems much more of a hassle. So instead, I looked into Bluetooth, which I actually learned how it works from Digital Trends, and it basically works by it connects each other through a unique address within a signal. So then once they're connected, they can send information to each other, and so basically I wanted to be able to use this OmniPod and install Bluetooth and connect it to the user's phone. So yeah, that's basically what I want to do in the future. I'm also taking computer science course next year, so hopefully I can transfer my designs into Xcode to actually export as an app. And then I also maybe can work with OmniPod if they're willing to bring this to life. So yeah.